Well, so what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, what comes first, the mark of the beast or Jesus Christ? Well, this one we can answer because the mark of the beast has came first. It is out about a month ago. Started rolling it out in Africa and select countries in Africa and South America. The WEF has 666 in their logo, so, but it's biometric. It's good. The digital implant, CBDC, central bank digital currency. Every country on earth rolling it out all at once. One world currency, one world government, one world order. Which I'll get now. I'll get a new little blue flag under this video for saying that, but then I'll show you a WEF member 6666 in their logo saying those exact words. Statue of Liberty was dedicated to New World Order. The new tower, when the Twin Towers fell, the old tower is dedicated to New World Order. The new tower is not called Freedom Tower anymore. It's called One World Tower. Signs are all around us. One world government. Satan has played his hand well. He has. I will hand him that. There's a lot of people who will go to hell because of his deceit, and he even infiltrated the church. So hasn't rolled out yet in the United States, but it's getting ready to. That's why everything is politics. This election that. That's why the um, I mean, I don't care who the candidates are. They have to make the Democrat Party or Satan's party win because then they are the globalists. They're the globalists, the New World Order. That's why you have all the Gaza and Palestine stuff in the universities. Like, am I the only one that noticed like all these professionally printed up signs, like by the thousands, dropped out? Those things aren't cheap. Like college kids, and then they're paying these kids $200 to $500 a day to protest, and they're getting turned over to Islam, which there's no salvation in Islam. Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. So you're losing your children to Islam and to hate of the devil, and we have to combat that with love in Jesus Christ and knowledge, real knowledge, because the devil will lead away with fake knowledge. Uh, oh man, it's just pray for the country. But yeah, at least you have some time. So as I'm saying this, it's May 1st, 2024. You have probably at least until November until they get their next leader in, and then and then we'll have time. So you have a little bit of time to stock food and water. See, that's why I had spoken out against the prosperity message for a long time. Because what are you going to do now? Are you going to take the mark to keep your money? Because my Bible says the people who take the mark of the beast go to hell. There's no salvation for you. That's one of the two unpardonable sins. If you take that mark, there's nothing even Jesus Christ himself can do for you. That should concern you. How are you going to survive? How are you going to pay your mortgage? See, I've been telling people this for 2 years that it's coming, and that's what it was. But then preachers would badmouth me, saying that I was glorifying the devil. And for actually for like more than 10 years, they kept me down because, well, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and that's the trick of the devil to never talk about it because you have to talk about it to expose it. But like Joseph in Egypt, if he didn't see the dream and know to store food, like he saved thousands of people. He saved Egypt and the Hebrews. Um, I'll show you the proof and the WEF telling you themselves that this is a biometric ID, and then listen to what the lady says, what all it is included. Now, this will be a clip from the Russell Brand show, who which just recently got uh, converted to Christianity and got water baptized. So, congratulations, Russell Brand. Please give up the rest of your gods. And I think Jesus will reveal that to you. It's not my business to clean you, but saying the rosary and all that. Catholicism and Christianity, two separate religions. We don't worship Mary. We don't worship statues. We don't say the rosary. I'm going to stay out of that one for this video, but everybody's free to do what they want. I'm going to link the video that scared the hell out of me, changed my life, talking about hell, because it was about hell. Chicago gang member who gets shot goes to hell. And that's what I've said for years. Like, what about these young and older people who are getting shot and killed? Like, does anybody care about their souls and where they're going when they do die? But here's the clip I'll show you of the mark of the beast is out. So that question's over, just like Jesus said, that we will go through tribulation. They will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. Matthew 24:9. In case you haven't noticed, Islam is on the rise. Maybe that's YouTube. I can include some clips of that. I'll do a video on Rumble. Include that. It's not. There's a difference. Christian with Jesus' relationship. It's not religion. It's got to warn these people. Alright, I'll get this clip. Congratulations on your gay baptized, Christianity baptized this week. It's an older video here 3 months ago. So I've been warning people about this for 2 years, but here we go. Play a little bit of the beginning, then I'll to expose this banner here, and then the part I'm looking for is a little farther down the line. Here we go.
It's over for another year. So what did we learn in 2024? A year of elections across the globe is the agenda for the globalists. Will it be New World Order, digital IDs, new pandemics, and less freedom for everyone, all dressed up in a nice little indigenous ceremony? Yeah, same as usual then. Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining us on our voyage to truth and freedom. Remember, you get early access to content like this by becoming an Awakened companies and vaccine organizations and the World Health Organization itself. It's an extraordinary festival of corporatism and globalism. It is indeed globalist Christmas up in the Alps with Klaus Schwab as Santa. And what's in that sack, Klaus? Just more saliva, I'm afraid. Let's have a look at some of the moments of Davos from which we can most learn. And let me know in the chat if you already know who the hero of Davos was. Who did the Golden Globes Ricky Gervais at Davos? Let's get into it.
We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders.
So there was an old world order. We're heading to a new world order. You know, people don't like that phrase. And it's also not good to say that phrase when you're literally in front of a 666 that can easily be discerned in the World Economic Forum's logo. See if you can spot it.
Do you agree with that? Or are there ways of what are we able to keep on the positive side from the old order to bring into a new world order? And how can we avoid that new world order becomes like a jungle growing back, and we rather have an order based on international law and the principles that have brought us prosperity and freedom for decades.
666, if you've ever seen it, then I will refer to them as the WEF, but World Economic Forum. These are the people who make our laws, decide our thing. This is the one world government, along with the UN and the WHO. Is Satan's end time kingdom.
That's the conversation being held with Joe Biden's national security advisor, and it's almost as if they're completely unaware that the phrase New World Order has garnered some negative attention in the last few years. Our conversation with Glenn Greenwald's really interesting. He said, what we are in now is an era not like 100 years ago where plutocrats like Rockefeller and Rothschilds would send dollar bills out of their limousine into the hands of peasants gathered outside. Now, with the militarization of the police force, anti-protest laws, online surveillance laws steadily gaining a pace, now the globalists are starting to recognize you can openly say, New World Order, we're in charge, we've got automation, we've got AI. There's enough power coalescing for our opinions to no longer be that significant. Just simply eat your bugs, own nothing, and be happy.
We are, the post-Cold War era has come to a close. We're at the start of something new. We have the capacity to shape what that looks like. And at the heart of it will be many of the core principles and core institutions of the existing order.
That's good, because we don't want to radically alter any of those systems that seem to be forming a yoke across the shoulders of many of the world's people, making us feel that we're living in total spiritual decline, watching the infrastructure of our nations fall apart, a kind of total existential crisis where meaning seems to have been totally extracted. We want to protect those institutions of power at all costs.
Adapted for the challenges that we face today. And that's a lot of what I tried to lay out in my remarks. Some of that goes to geopolitics and how we build or update the international economic order in ways that address the needs of working people, address the climate crisis.
The needs of working people always a priority. Here's Tedros Ghebreyesus talking about the WHO treaty, which will give unprecedented power to the WHO, and how you can be protected.
Remember, this was 3 months ago. They just now ran around and did too.
From the mysterious disease X.
And then the other key in order to have better prepared and to address the disease X is the pandemic agreement. The pandemic agreement can bring all the experience, all the challenges that we have faced, and all the solutions into one.
All of them? Will it bring the information about excess deaths that many of us crave? Will we talk about adverse injuries that may have been caused by some of the medications? Will we be talking about the efficiency of lockdown measures? Will we be talking about...
I have to be careful because I'm not Russell Brand. I can't get away with playing that much of. So here is the lady telling you about the Mark of the Beast rollout.
altogether. Another thing they seem pretty keen on over at Davos is to get biometric data, isn't it? They're not happy unless they know what your DNA is doing, and lately your DNA may be doing some pretty unusual stuff. Some of the stories I've read prove to be true, and it's possible that they will. But for now, let's get your DNA all nice and stored, all of your biometric data, you know, just to help you, just to make you more safe, just to provide you with convenience. Have you noticed that, the way that the establishment works? They're always just thinking, what's convenient for them now? Is it convenient to be locked in your house for a couple of years, to miss your cancer medication, and for your child to forget how to read? Well, some more convenience coming.
Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID.
Right.
And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID. And certainly that it was digital. And certainly that was biometric. And we've really worked with all our partners.
Certainly it was digital. And certainly it was biometric. But if you don't know what biometric means, it means they're implanted into your skin.
To actually help that being, to grow this.
Help Africa, get it up there into biometric data. Do you think when sort of funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation crops up in some part of India or some African nation, think helps are coming? What I've learned, getting perspective from people inside those former colonial territories, they don't want that type of help. What it seems to be is, oh, are you hungry? Yeah. Is your economy in trouble? Right, good. We'll give you some money as long as you comply and help us do this sort of study on biometric data, which, by the way, we will be implementing in a Western country down the road, saying, oh, it will.
Okay, you don't believe me? Just Google SB. I will just do it live right now. CB. I keep saying SB. CB. These people keep telling me, why is the Small Business Association going to take over the world? There we are. CBDC. But yeah, worldwide, just all of a sudden, they started this. You know, it's been for a while, but it's went from, let's go to the news. But yeah, every country, if you do your own little research on this, every country, just all at once, is gonna, Japan launches CBDC, Bank of Japan, all of Europe. There was, I think it was about a month ago, I seen I don't know, it'd be like whoever the Fed chairman is, like over Europe. She said, "Oh, Europe, it's coming. Here you go. 86 of Germans open the Euro CBD. You have months to prepare. Don't plan on winning any elections if you're for the good guys. It's just Satan's end time kingdom. You don't think he's gonna stay in?"
worked really well when we did it in this place in Africa where they had no bloody choice because they wouldn't give you any medication or food if you didn't participate. That's what that gesture means.
Do it yourself, I've got to save some Africans.
And the interesting part of it is that,
Apologize.
yes, it is very necessary for financial services.
Not just financial services. Yes, we could debank you. Yes, we could shut down your finances, but that's not the extent of the power. We
That's
could
not
stop you
all.
travelling, getting on trains, going anywhere, consuming goods. All of these things are possible if you have control of people's data. Don't worry about what Edward Snowden said. He's just safely relaxing in Russia now. Don't worry about their revelation.
Data's the least of it. When you have control of their souls, you take this, you have no more heaven for you. You take the mark of the beast, it's in your Bible, you can read it. You take the mark, no heaven for you.
Of Julian Assange. Put that all out of your mind as if you've just participated in an indigenous ceremony. Poof! And had all
Which is witchcraft, by the way, if you've never seen any of my videos on that. I am Native American, decided to, well, through what God has shown me, but through research and my ancestors and generational curses and things, that is why the Native Americans lost the land of America. I'll call it America because the United States is the New World Order. So America, where they lost the land to the Christians, and it only lasted for like 100 years because as soon as they put that Statue of Liberty up, we were no longer a Christian country because that Statue of Liberty is a giant transgender false idol. I won't get into that here. I have a whole series on it. But yeah. And it was dedicated to the New World Order back then in 1886, 305 feet and 1 inch tall. The 1 inch is important. The pedestal arrangement's important. It was the largest steel structure at the time. And as I believe the whore of Mystery Babylon. And that New York City is Mystery Babylon, if not the whole United States. So, but pay attention to what else she says is your implant will do for you.
your memories blown away.
But not only, it's also good for school enrollment, it's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not.
Oh, you didn't get a vaccination. Oh, your kids aren't at school. You're not an obedient little prisoner of the state. Poof!
It's very good to actually to get your subsidies, from the government.
Did you want that subsidy? Oh, yes, please. Poof! Poof!
So this has not only effect to the financial services, it's a very important issue.
One person, of course, bucked the trend of Davos by turning up there with some minerals, with some stones, and with some lyrics, even if you don't entirely agree with Javier Milei's solution to global problems.
This is in the pause. Okay. So, there you have it. Like I said, I wouldn't take much faith in the elections. Just keep your eyes to the sky, looking for Jesus. Obviously, if the mark of the beast is rolled out, it's not too much time for him. So, for the pastors who tried to shame me and say I was glorifying the devil, shame on you for not warning your flock about it, because now they will probably starve to death and take the mark. But you have a good, I don't know, you have until the next election, which we're not going to win. I'm just going to tell you. So, but yeah, there you go.